Are you guys having fun? All right, everyone settle down. Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you Kangana Ranaut. What do you make of this crowd, Kangana?
Thank you. Thank you. This is unbelievable. I was hoping that when I come up with some kind of one-liners today, I get whistling, a lot of whistling and claps. But I think I will get that regardless. So I was asking Padmaja that how's the crowd? And then she said, this is how she introduced you all. She said that we have very smart, intelligent students today. So I am a bit nervous. I'm a bit nervous, so, what's that?
Okay, they want to tell you that they are from SRM University, but you have no reason to be, because if anything, I think in the Hindi film industry currently, if we have an eloquent, well-spoken lady who has no qualms about speaking her mind, it is you, Kangana, and more power to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. No, but we're going to have fun today. I mean, we're not going to stick to some lectures and, some just philosophical talks. We're going to have fun. So we're going to make sure that you guys have fun. Yes. Yeah. I understand you guys must be exhausted since morning. You guys been here since morning, right? Yeah. No, but if you guys, if you guys are attentive and you pay attention to what I say and you are cooperative, then I might just do a little striptease by the end of it. You never know.
I don't think you should have said that at the beginning.
So you've got to pay attention to me. And whistle at the right time, not at the wrong time.
The kind of movies that you started with, really intense, okay? And then you went into Queen. Is it just that you just had your fill of, playing these really complicated characters and you are like, to hell with it, I'm just here to have a ball?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I was jobless, I was moneyless, I was foodless, shelterless. I mean, I was getting a role. Why won't I play it, right? So every time, it's not about what you want from life. Sometimes it's just grabbing the best opportunities and making most of it.
And the film industry is not an easy place
Not
to
yet.
be.
I can do better than that. Wait.
It's a very difficult place. You find people who at the first instance will pull you down, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we do face bully, but that we do everywhere. Like, whether you're in school or college, at your workplace, you do come across a lot of bullies. Yeah, but there is nothing unusual about it. And I feel when you're fighting back, you grow that kind of stamina that you can pretty much deal with anything.
No, but it's different, Kangana, because how many Delhiites here? How many people from out of Delhi? Small. Oh. That's the difference, because when you're from UP, you're from Uttarakhand, Bihar, you come from these places to cities like Delhi, Mumbai. It's a very different kind of atmosphere and resistance that you're faced with, right?
Yeah, yeah. But what I suggest is when you deal with bullies or giants, you know what giants are, right? They're underdogs and then they're giants, right? Like, I am an underdog. But when I came to the film industry, I was faced with giants, people who are reigning, who are ruling, and I want to probably pretty much want to replace them, right? That's the agenda. So how do you replace giants? You can't fight with them in their language. So here's an analogy. If you are a physically fragile kid, let's say, and somebody is exercising their their physical strength on you, say, beating you up. So that bully has mastered that tactic. That bully wants you to reply in that language. So don't use that language. Step back, break down bully's psyche, and use a language that bully doesn't know. There are so many forms of strength. There are so many forms of power, you know. Humans are not just blessed with physical power. That is probably one of the most, I'd say, not that superior one, but you have power of intellect, power of dignity, character, truth, honesty. There are so many type of powers. So as a kid, if I were that physically fragile kid, I would tell my parents, I would involve authorities, I would probably exercise the power of truth on that physically strong kid who probably doesn't have, you know, that sort of power in that language. So yeah, that's the best way to fight with bullies.
And also we have this certain elitism, you know, it's there everywhere in big cities. You know, the way you speak, you know, you have a certain English kaise bolte ho, sahi accent hai, sahi pronunciation hai, and you actually did manage to turn it on its head, that kind of snobbery. You said, okay, so I have shortcomings, but I'm going to work on it.
But I think that's a very primitive way of looking at people, that, you know, how their language is. Their language is going to be whatever their background is, you know. That doesn't say anything about who you are. You're not, like I always say, you're not your language, your color, your sex, your culture, your religion. That's not what defines you. What defines you is your character. Yeah. Wow. Who said wow? Can you raise your hand? Can you raise your hand? Who said wow? Okay, all of you. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that.
No, but you know, it's not just about the verbal bullying, and maybe you find it easy to talk about it now, but people get intimidated, especially when you come into this city where you're breaking into an elite club, and the film industry is really the elite of the elite, right? You've got all these South Bombay people, and then you have people laughing and saying, oh, you know, iska to accent thoda off hai and everything.
हाँ तो है accent off, तो क्या हो गया?
Did you actually face that kind of, you know, this which nak?
हाँ, तो क्या हो गया? यहाँ पे इनको मेरा accent fake लगता है. ये लोग जब खुद बाहर जाते हैं तो उनको इनका accent fake लगता है.
What we call the pseudo-elitism. बहुत होता है ना? This all nudge, wink, wink.
इनको हम यहाँ पे काले लगते हैं. जब ये खुद बाहर जाते हैं तो लोग इनको काला कहते हैं.
Did you confront these people and say, मुझे पता है मेरी पीठ के पीछे क्या कहते हो?
हाँ?
Did you confront these people and say, मुझे पता है तुम मेरे बारे में क्या बोलते हो?
नहीं, I think my life is just about me. My life is not who's standing behind me.
Well, I'm guessing there's a good reason they're standing behind you then.
Absolutely.
All right, so, you know, then there are things that you ignore. But then when it crosses a line, and it gets physical, what's the breaking point for you where you say, no, this is it. I'm not going to take this from you.
It gets physical. You're talking about a physical sort of violence?
Violence, bullying, intimidation.
Yeah, like I just said, I just explained that if somebody is exercising a certain power on you, do not respond in that tactic, because the bully is dangling that tactic so that you fall for it. Your instant reaction would be to punch back. But bully is suggesting that language, that tactic, precisely because you would fail in that language. That is the trap of a bully. So you've got to identify that. You can seek legal help. You can seek the help of authorities. You can break down a bully by exercising your power of resistance or dignity on bully, but deal with the bully. Do not ignore the bully, but don't respond in his or her language.
But, you know, you have a very strong support system. You've got your sister, you're very close to her. How many women can actually do that? Because it's not just this one bully you're facing, right? Then there is also this
I've got a
victim
very
shaming.
strong support system because I have built that support system when I was 17. Listen to this. Listen to this story. When I was 17, I was faced with extreme physical violence to a point where I literally saw my death looking me in my eyes. And I had an option to, and the person who was subjecting me to that kind of bully is a very influential person, and especially when like I said, as a teenager, when I was supportless and penniless and shelterless, it was a huge deal for me. I had an option, either to put up with that and lead a very a comfortable life where nobody would ever know what is happening to me, or being a minor, go to cops, make it a public issue, lodge a FIR, and then just see what happens. That also meant letting my parents know everything that I was going through, letting the world know about the humiliation and the physical pain I was being subjected to. Basically being subjected to all sort of judgments and scrutinies. At 17, I went to the cop station and I lodged a FIR.
And from doing that when you were 17 to doing that now, have things changed at all? Has the experience changed at all?
Doing that now as in?
To now, as in what happened this year, when you again went public with the kind of harassment that you were facing. And did you find people's reaction in particular? Because there's a lot of victim shaming that happened. Like you said, you go public, and it's not just your parents. There'll be always these hundreds of people who will judge you, who will try and think that they know better about you.
Yeah, but this incident is very different than the incidents that I faced in the past. This was there was no legal proceedings ever initiated against me. There was a lot of media drama. There were a lot of threats. There was a lot of slut shaming. But there was no case ever filed against me. And there was, like I said, no legal proceedings ever initiated against me. There was no question of fighting a legal battle. But yes, like I said, there were media trials. There were a lot of pressure, like a certain feminist pressure on me to fight and to tell the world, reveal the sob story that I have. But I didn't have any. I was in a consensual equation with an individual, and I felt perfectly capable of dealing with the stuff that was coming my way as an adult. But I was pressurized to a point where I felt like questioning that what exactly is feminism that we're talking about today. Is it fighting for an individual's acceptance or begging for his acknowledgement publicly? Individual who doesn't have an iota of respect for you, is that feminism? Then I'm not a feminist. Is it feminism that we as women, it is essential for us to save the memories of our love affairs, whether it's sperm-stained panties or a gift that it is given to us by a lover as a potential evidence for a future when he's trying to escape or say no. If that is feminism, I'm not a feminist. If it is feminism to not allow a prerogative of saying no to a man and to making it just a prerogative of a woman, then I am not a feminist. A no means a no. If I can give you all my word today, if anybody, any individual wants nothing to do with me and feels ashamed of me, wants to get rid of me, only thing I'm going to do for that individual is to say goodbye. Because I feel in the realm of love, only one language should be used, not languages of acids or kerosene, language of poetry. So every time I get dumped, or feel rejected or dejected. My favorite lines of share, you guys want to hear? Okay. Okay, so I've not written it, but I love it from the age of 16. Every time I fall back on these words, every time I get dumped. So here this is. Written by Nazir Bakri. So this is to the dumping. Say yes! मुझको no, it starts as तुझको भी जब अपनी कस्में अपने वादे याद नहीं, तुझको भी जब अपनी कस्में अपने वादे याद नहीं, हम भी अपने ख्वाब तेरी आंखों में रखकर भूल गए. Okay, there's more. There's more. मुझको जिन्होंने कत्ल किया है, मुझको जिन्होंने कत्ल किया है, कोई उन्हें बतलाए नजीर, मेरी लाश की पहलू में वो अपना खंजर भूल गए. So, coming back to feminism, if generalizing our men and filling them up with a sense of shame and guilt is feminism, then I am not a feminist. Okay, I've been extremely floored by this film called Pink. You guys must have heard a lot about it because I think Mr. Bachchan was there. Okay, so I'm going to talk about it because I think Mr. Bachchan somewhere said that we are a land of rape or something of that effect. I want to tell Mr. Bachchan, we are also a land of artist-like, shining example of modern men like Mr. Bachchan, Sujit Sarkar, and Anurag Roy. These great artists could have invested their creative energies into anything, but they chose to do a film called Pink. Because, also because we are a male-dominated society, it is all the more important for us to empower our feminist men more than empowering our. They are the one who's going to lead feminism. And I feel when we have men like Shujit sir, Mr. Bachchan, and Anurag Roy, like I said, they are the ones who are leading the spirit of feminism, and we are so proud of them. Kisses, flying kisses for them. All the men here who are feminists, put up your hands.
The rest of the men? No? Not feminists? All right. So,
who all are feminists here? I know, but who all are feminists here? Oh, great. We still have hope.
You told us everything that you're not. You're not this. If this is, what is feminism for you?
I think, like I said, I've not. Feminism is apparently a subject. It's in literature, but like I said, I've not gone to college or school. So I don't borrow education. I don't feel that I need to just borrow a set of ideas and then to just own them because everybody's owning them. So I have to be convinced. I have to be stimulated with that idea. For me, feminism is what Pink is. Feminism is not just fighting for women's rights, because even to prove that women are also human is it's really beneath any legitimate democratic human being's dignity to prove women as humans. I mean, of course they are humans, and of course they deserve equal rights, but what Pink does is it celebrates a woman's pride. And I think that is the most significant thing that we need to do. As feminists, we need to protect a woman's dignity and her pride. I love the fact that it wasn't a poor girl who was tortured to trauma. It's just that she didn't want to say sorry for the things she didn't feel sorry for. So that courtroom drama around one's own dignity is what I think is feminism. And I think salute to these men who, choose to see women as an equal.
And for all the men who are not, what are the three pieces of advice you want to give to the girls here to deal with men who do not deserve them?
Why to deal with them? Like coming back to bullies, the thing is, but the thing is that you've got to know if the bully is actually, has something at stake. Would you, like I said, the legal battle, the so-called legal battle, there was nothing legal about it. I had an option, either indulging into it, but what is at stake? Why would I want to own, okay, here's the analogy. Why would I want to own a car that doesn't work? If a man doesn't have respect for me, he doesn't fit into my scheme of things. How does he fit into my life? So why do you want to indulge into bullies, and why do you want to deal with them is what I want to know.
Well, you're right. I think to use another analogy, it's like wrestling with a pig. Because you get dirty and the pig enjoys it.
Exactly. You rather find a car which runs. Simple. Invest your limited time into things that gonna make your life, beautiful. But don't indulge into traps, because sometimes you can also be a very passionate indulgence for somebody who just wants to keep you busy.
You know, you used this very important term, and I want to bring you back to it. And let's just put it out there. When you spoke of slut shaming, what is it and how does it happen? And it happens in very insidious ways, you know. There'll be like people who'll talk to you, say, what are you doing? Don't do
Well,
that.
about slut shaming, see, it is simple. Like I just said, that if a woman is always going to be made to feel like someone who's been wronged, in a sexual relationship. Why is it, if in a consensual relationship, why is it woman always gets used and man always has fun? How does that work? Is woman a washing machine which gets used? What is it about women that gets used in them? If it was a consensual relationship, then clearly if a man had fun, so women also had fun. So why should women have the burden of saving the evidence of that intimate encounter as future hard evidence, just in case a man wants to escape? If you want to escape, you're more than welcome to escape. So like I said, no, it's not just in case a man says no tomorrow, he should be put to shame. Put to shame for what? For making love to a woman? That way, a woman should also be ashamed for making love to a man. But I, as an individual, I don't feel ashamed of anything that I've been a part of. Like I said, I'm an adult. If I'm in a consensual equation, then what is there to be ashamed of? It is really, it's beyond my mind to even think that there is anything to be ashamed about in a consensual relationship or equation, for that matter. And why don't we make our women independent? Just so that they can have this, they can have this option of not falling back into these securities and, daily bread and butter, and, succumbing to the pressure of society to live in a relationship or to live with an individual, like I just mentioned, who doesn't have an iota of respect for you. Why would you want to be owned by a person like that in the first place, is my question. Why would you want that person's acknowledgement of you socially, is my question.
I'll ask you a final question before we take questions from the audience here. I'm sure they'll be more than eager to. Did you find the kind of support that you would have expected from your peers? Because community support is very important. Yes, you have your own family, your support system, but it also matters, your peers,
but the thing is, like I said, what was there for anybody for me to support? Like I said, I'm an individual who feels perfectly capable of dealing with the shit that I put myself into. So why should I expect support in the first place? And also, like I said, if I had any sort of legal proceedings initiated against me, I would have fought for my pride, not for a man's acknowledgement or acceptance of me. I would never do that.
No, but far from the support, you actually got called names, right? And from within the community, there were people who were more than...
That's okay. If I can call people silly, they can also call me mean and bitchy. That's all right. It's democratic.
Well, yes, that's democracy. Questions, raise your hands. Okay, so as promised to Kangana, we'll give men 3 chances to ask intelligent questions. Gentlemen there, your
You guys
question.
want striptease by the end of it, right? So you're going to ask nice questions.
Good evening, ma'am.
Okay, strike 1.
आपने पूछा ही नहीं मुझे शादी के लिए, तो शादी कैसे होगी? आज तो पहले लड़के हैं आप जिन्होंने पूछा, अब सोचते हैं. Okay, this is a nice summit. I like it.
Yes.
Good evening, ma'am.
Hi,
My
good
name
evening.
is Varun. I'm from JP College.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Ma'am, right now, in today's time, feminism has become more about male bashing. Just like about a recent case where male victims of rape weren't, means justice isn't served, means male victims of rape isn't considered a rape. Means a male who's raped isn't considered as a person who is raped,
Yeah.
but a woman is. So doesn't feminism has become more about male bashing?
No, I think I've spoken about it, and I will repeat myself, that feminism cannot prevail in our society if in this male-dominated society, men do not lead us with it. Because this society is essentially male-dominated. You understand the word of male-dominated society. So men have a say. And also, with what you said with respect to that, if a woman, it's not about, just like men can also get bullied by women, it's just not women who get bullied. So the good way is that a woman, if she's using power of money on you, power, like a physical power or any power, not to respond in that language, because clearly she has mastered that. So you can respond in a language that you've mastered. You want to seek legal help, or you want to seek the help of authorities. You can do things like that, but you've got to deal with it. You've got to fight it back.
Thank you.
Question. Okay, just because he's holding that lightning rod, whatever, the gentleman here with the glasses.
Yes.
Give him the mic, please. Check shirt with the glasses.
Hello.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
I'm Saksham Angiris. Even I'm from the JP Institute of Information Technology. Ma'am, there are 2 different words. One is gender equality and one is feminism. Do you think both the words have the same meaning?
Give me a minute. My brain is racing right now. Well, I will give you my interpretation.
That is what I
So,
want.
feminism is not gender equality in my words, because feminism respects everything that is feminine. So, feminism is not just a woman's feminine is not just a woman's prerogative. Anything which is beautiful, which is delicate, which deals with emotions like kindness, humanity, which is actually apparently supposed to be, more estrogen-dominated emotions, So it's not that only there are men who are a lot more, gentle, lot more kind than women, but they also get subjected to bully for being feminine or effeminate or showing emotions that are gentle and kind, or not being these macho men who, like to just ride on their wife without even, just bothering if she is even, dead or alive. So that is not respected. And I think that is why gender equality also brings about a huge debate about homosexuality and heterosexuality, because they also get bullied for having these, for possessing the qualities of feminine. So feminism, I think, should run beyond gender, and it should also be a movement which I think propagates love, art, music, empathy, which I think the modern society is absolutely deprived of, So that is what feminism should be. So,
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, you answered this wonderfully. I have a lot of respect.
Thank you.
Ma'am, can I just shake hands with you?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
So, ma'am, you support gender equality?
Let him come, please. You can jump that. Thank you.
Okay then.
Hello, ma'am.
One final question I'm taking
One
from the
final
lady.
question.
Final question. Sorry guys, really sorry.
Hello,
the lady in red.
Hello, Kangana, ma'am. So, ma'am, you just answered the question. So, you support gender equality or not?
Well, I think I am a bit disappointed to even, like I said, it will be beneath any legitimate human's dignity to would want to fight for gender equality. Of course, we deserve it. We deserve it, and anybody who deprives any society of gender equality is a shame to humanity. I mean, really, we should be in a time where we are encouraging, universal law of equality. I mean, so gender equality is, fights like this exist in modern times is a shame.
Okay, so Kangana, are you impressed with the crowd? Are you happy with the
I'm
questions?
very impressed with you all.
But I'm sorry. Despite what you threatened to do, I'm sorry, I'll have to be a moral police here. I will not allow you to do any striptease.
But I want to.
But you can do a little dance. That's as far as I will go. Striptease, I am
want
sorry.
to. Can I, please?
I am the resident moral police. I refuse.
We have to put them in trouble.
Yes, you will have to listen to me. No striptease. Absolutely not. But before we let Kangana go, can we let her go without doing one line in Haryanvi? This is Delhi, Kangana. How can you not speak in Haryanvi? One line. एक हरियाणवी में तो लाइन बनती है सॉलिड.
शर्मा जी, मेरी बात तो सुन लो यार. शर्मा जी, जब कहीं जाना ही नहीं तो बस के धक्के क्यों खाने?
अच्छा, मेरे को एक बात बताइए. ऑनेस्टली आई नो इसमें शायद किसी और का इंटरेस्ट नहीं होगा, बट मैं ये पर्सनली जानना चाहती हूँ, रिवॉल्वर रानी में आपने सिंगल आर्म पुशअप किया था, वो सच में किया था, बॉडी डबल था? सिंगल आर्म पुशअप था. कम ऑन, यू बीन सो फोर्थराइट, आज बता दो.
Wow, Kangana, you were beyond fantastic. Kangana Ranaut, redefining feminism. The true epitome of what a feminist is in Bollywood. I would like to call on stage Mr. Sahil Malik, Managing Director Da Milano, to kindly come on stage and give a small token of our appreciation for your presence, Kangana. Please come. A huge round of applause for the Queen of Bollywood, Kangana Ranaut.
And since we've thrown good language to the wind, does this lady kick ass or what?